One of the best quarterbacks in the country is in Morgantown right now, and he's going to be live. Stick around.
You are Locked On West Virginia, your daily podcast on the West Virginia Mountaineers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, guys? Welcome back in. My name is Mountaineer Paul. I am your host. This is Locked On West Virginia. It's the end of the week. Ready to do this thing, guys. 5 Hour Energy sponsoring this program today. Did you know that 5 Hour Energy has over 15 flavors to choose from? If you need one now, you can grab a 5 Hour Energy shot at your local grocery or convenience store. Stock up today and stay energized. Speaking of energy, this dude brings a lot of juice wherever he's at. We're talking about 10-8 in the 100 meters. We're talking about almost 2,000 yards rushing in a single season. A kid that literally can't be stopped, drawing people to compare him to Kyler Murray. We're talking about none other than the Legend Bay. What's up, my brother?
So how you doing?
Doing good, man. Thanks for joining. Full disclosure, he was eating with the staff, and I was like, where are you? Hurry up. I didn't realize that he was eating with the staff. So, man, it's probably been a whirlwind recruitment for you. I know everybody and their mom wants you. You look at the list. It's Ohio State. It's Notre Dame. It's Oregon. It's Texas A&M. What are you doing in Morgantown?
Just feeling the vibe, trying to see if this is where I want to be.
And how did that dinner go just now? Did you enjoy yourself?
Yes, sir. It was fantastic.
Good.
Love everything about it.
Yeah, it's compared to where you're from, what's Morgantown like?
The air is fresher. It's not as humid. It's
yeah.
The vibe. Everyone's nice. Texas got nice people, but they're not this nice.
Right. Yeah, it's a different thing. It's because West Virginia is right there on that southern borderline, right? So you get some of that southern hospitality in West Virginia for sure. Dude, you had one. I mean, your 2023 was good. Your 2024 season was electric. Over 1,900 yards, 28 rushing touchdowns on the ground. As a quarterback, West Virginia runs a run-heavy spread option offense under Coach Rodriguez. It really seems like a natural fit. What excites you most about potentially stepping into a system that could showcase your dual threat skills like that, a la Pat? I mean, if you look at, and I'm sure they've talked to you about this, Rich Rodriguez has literally had 10 or 11 all-conference, all-American players at the quarterback spot running this system.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get to see any Pat White or anything like that? Have they talked to you about him yet, or have you looked into him?
Yes, sir. I got to meet him in person.
That's awesome, man. So obviously he's the GOAT for us.
Yes,
he retired, the all-time leading rusher in the history of college football for a quarterback. So he knows what this system can do for somebody. What excites you about that system?
That I can actually be able to come and fit in it. Not that it was created with me. It was created before me, you know?
Right. I get what you're saying. So the situation you're in high school, I was reading a little bit about it. They tailored the offense to what you could do, right? Like before you wasn't necessarily a dual threat guy.
Yes.
That's so you like the fact that this system is already in place, that you're going to come in and it's already tailor made for what you do well. I like that.
Sure.
So balancing 1,444 passing yards with nearly 2,000 yards shows that you're a real dual threat. I think West Virginia probably sees you as a quarterback of the future. How do you think your versatility could elevate the offense, like especially against like Big 12 defenses, when you're out there on the field and you're using both? How does that make you feel on the field, man? Do you feel like that gives you a big advantage?
Yes, sir. I mean, team goes off my energy, so I mean, if I'm doing good, they're doing good as well. So
your game against Rockwall, dude, I went and watched it. 300 rushing yards, 4 touchdowns. It's just basically a masterpiece. You really dominated that game against what has been a really good program at times in the past. What was going through your head during that performance?
I'm just helping my mom, making sure I'll be able to be set for after I graduate.
Right. That's a very mature thing, man. And I get that a lot of people have those motivations. So break it down for me, because we can be honest in this day and age. Money matters. It just does, right? If somebody's offering you, if it's close with another place, like let's say you like this place better and the money's close, but they're giving a little bit more. Like, are you the kind of person that's to the highest bidder, or do you have to like a place as well?
I have to at least like the place. That
Right.
comes first. Liking the place comes first to me.
Comes first to you. That's good. Because, I personally, mercenaries, I don't think that's what you build teams with, right? People that just come in for a year at a time. I think you at least have to have the mindset of going into a place for 4 years. Maybe you don't stay there that long. Maybe you leave in a year, but at least try to give it a shot. Some of these kids, I don't feel like do that. And it's kind of hurting the sport, unfortunately. So what other places have you been able to visit already?
I was at Texas A&M last week. That's about it.
So I hear they've got a really nice place down there.
Yes, sir, they do.
What is just be honest too. Like what do you think West Virginia stacks up like facilities wise, the way things are set up?
Everything's set up perfectly. It's more modern. The trophy room is beautiful.
Yeah, it's a great room.
Yeah, that was my favorite part. And the locker room is super cool with the lights.
Yeah, they got that from the NBA, actually. They tried to model that after when LeBron was in Cleveland. They looked at that locker room, the way they had it set up, and they tried to model it after that. So that's why it looks like that. I feel like, yeah, they've even got a room for the former players to come back and like a mud room and all kinds of stuff in there that's really cool. So do you have a timeline for when you want to make a decision and when you want to start cutting down to a certain amount of teams?
No, sir, I haven't figured that out yet.
You still have.
After I take these visits, then I'll commit.
What visits do you have lined up?
I have 2. I got Duke, Boston College, Notre Dame, and I got Ohio State being set up.
Is there any one of those coming up that you're really excited about?
I love Jeremiah Smith, so can't wait to get to Ohio State.
Yeah, I'm not surprised to hear you say that. I'm not surprised to hear you say that at all. Man, I appreciate you for coming on. So before I let you go, did the staff have anything good to say to you as far as how they would utilize you or any of that kind of thing? Uh-oh. We might have lost him. He's frozen.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Uh-oh. West Virginia. Well, for those of you listening on podcasts, it seems like we're having some technical difficulties, which is okay. It happens. So what we'll do is we'll just move on. Thank you to Legend Bay for jumping on there. Super nice as a kid. Look, guys, this is one we obviously need. I would venture to say that, maybe the most important recruit come up in 2026. I mean, you look at what he did in 2024, 1,900 yards, 28 rushing touchdowns. And this is a kid that is tailor-made for what Rich Rod does. And when you go watch him on tape, he's not an elite runner. He's above that. Whatever you would classify as above that. Kyler Murray, like those are the kind of guys he's being compared to. He's got a really strong arm. His tape is such a cut up of runs that you don't get a great look at his arm. I mean, it's there, but it's not what you're watching. You're waiting for that next big run to break. And so I think this is a kid that, let's be honest here. It's going to be hard for us to pull this one off, but he's in Morgantown and he's here early. And here's one thing that if you don't know this about recruiting, this is just a fact. This weekend is one of the most important weekends to get people in. Also June. The earlier you can get people in, the better chance you have with them, because the kids that we get later in the cycle will already be committed to places. So typically, especially in the past, it's always been better to get kids that you want in early and try to squeeze them all in at once. And so that's what they've done here with this kid. This kid would come in and push for probably playing time right away next year. Like, he's that good of a player. So I think it's awesome that they've been able to get this kid here. We can't lie to ourselves, though. If a Texas A&M and Ohio State want this kid, they're going to get the kid, because I doubt Rich Rod's going to spend $2 million to get him, right? So, and I don't blame him. Like he said, it's for his mom. I hate on one hand that these kids have that kind of thing on their shoulders, but on the other, I respect it. So thank you to Legend for coming on. What a really cool name he has. He's a really cool kid. Super nice. Had a really good time talking to him there, and we'll keep monitoring that situation, but that's not all we have to talk about here. Let's talk some basketball, man. I think, I'm really excited about basketball right now. And somebody in the chat just said really caught my it threw me off, but it's great. Legend Bay and Jet Walker in the backfield. That does sound really cool. We would win the name Olympics with that backfield. Absolutely. There's no doubt about it. So let's go to break really quick. On the other side of the break, I want to talk about all these offers that West Virginia has sent out in basketball. And the North Texas player just hit the transfer portal. He'll be highly sought after, but West Virginia's got a great shot at him. We'll talk about that next. Stick around. This episode of Locked On West Virginia going to be brought to you by Prize Picks. We haven't talked about Prize Picks in a while here. Guys, when you're talking about Prize Picks, baseball season is going to be in full swing now. There's no better way to get in on the action than with Prize Picks, the best place for daily fantasy sports. With Prize Picks, you pick more or less on two-player projections. If you're right, you win up to 1,000 times your cash. If you're wrong, you try again. Whether it's strikeouts, RBIs, or first-inning runs, Prize Picks keeps every game exciting. If you want to build your lineup, try Aaron Judge for more than one home run and Shohei Ohtani for more than one stolen base. Pretty easy to pick, right? It's really fast and simple to set up. One lineup can take 60 seconds, and when you win, your payout is quick, safe, and secure. You get exclusive promos. You can take advantage of Taco Tuesday. It's a real thing, where Prize Picks offers discounts on select player projections for more value than normal. Download the app today and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $50 off instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONCollege for $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Do it at Prize Picks. Run your game. And, of course, we're also going to be talking about on this episode of Locked On West Virginia, our friends over at Fabric by Gerber. Life moves at you fast, especially when you have a family. One day you're watching your kids take their first steps, and before you know it, they're off to college. That's why securing your future is so, so important. Fabric by Gerber Life makes it simple to get term life insurance that fits your family's needs. With Fabric, you can apply for term life insurance online right from your couch. You can get covered in under 10 minutes, and in many cases, no health exam is required. If you want peace of mind as a parent, make sure your family is financially protected no matter what happens. Fabric gives you that peace of mind. Join thousands of parents who must trust Fabric to help protect their families. Apply today in just minutes at meetfabric.com/lockedoncollege. That's meetfabric.com/lockedoncollege. Policies issued by Western Southern Life Insurance Company, guys. Not available in certain states. Prices are subject to underwriting and health questions. Don't forget that. That's Fabric by Gerber Life. Check them out. It's segment 2. Let's crack a do. How about that? Let's crack a do. Talk a little bit of basketball. Yesterday we spent 19 hours at the old computer desk here. 9 a.m. we were up bright and early. And I don't know if we were bushy-tailed, but we were up bright and early. And we did a watch-along. We watched the Ross Hodge press conference. Everybody was equally impressed with his press conference. He really felt like a West Virginia man, right? I shook my camera. But that's not going to keep you around forever, right? That's not going to make the fans happy at the end of the day. Thanks to Raven and Shacker in the chat, by the way. They've got the Discord link in the chat. If you want to join our Discord, we've got a cool little community there. When I get breaking news, which has happened already this week twice, I think. Well, not, I don't know if you consider breaking news, but intel, with the Cam Rice visitation, the kid that Tennessee just offered, Mississippi State just offered, and even it's going more and more and more. West Virginia has a visit out of him. Hopefully they keep it now that all these extra places are offering. The Ohio University defensive tackle. I went to my Discord and said, hey, guys, this guy's visiting before I went live on that. And then I showed the screenshots where I was able to prove that me and I spoke and said, yes, I'll be visiting. That's the kind of stuff that I give you. You won't find that anywhere else. Nobody else is going to show their screenshots of conversations they have with these people that will prove to you that this is not just sources, right? Because I've done it for years now at this point. Like it's something that I've been doing for a long time, but I continue to be motivated to prove that I have credibility in this field. Number two, we just talk ball in there, man. Matt's always in there. Raven's always in there. Eric's in there a lot. We got a lot of people that are in there, Dylan, and there's many, many more that are all in there. And we're really cool in there. We really have a good time. So check out the Discord. It's a great place to be. It's a place I drop intel that I get. I don't claim to be Mike Casazza or those guys or Keenan or those guys. And I don't steal their material. I do my own thing. And I read the tea leaves and try to do the best I can. And sometimes it works, sometimes it don't, but it's a fun place to be. So let's talk a little college basketball here. By the way, my arm broke on my for those of you listening on podcast, I had an arm for my microphone that hung right into my camera view, and it broke yesterday because my foot got caught on one of these cords and just pulled it all down, broke it right off the table, clamps right to your table. It broke it right off. So I'm holding it kind of awkward. Okay. So, I think West Virginia's got a couple new offers out since we talked last, and I went and researched them. There's some impressive ones on here, guys. There really is. One of them I don't have added to my list. Let me see if I have it still pasted. I do not. Let me set this down really quick so I can type. Princeton transfer guard. Okay. Yeah. So, and Xavier Lee, that's the one. So, Kentucky, he just did a thing with Kentucky, right? But as soon as I saw he was in the portal, I sent him a message. I said, hey, has West Virginia reached out to you yet? He said, I think I heard from him. I said, well, do we got a shot? And he never responded yet. But I did get that initial point of contact. Maybe he will respond. But it's already been reported 11 hours ago. He had a face-to-face with UK's Mark Pope. So that immediately put a damper on how I was feeling about him, right? But, I think we have enough money to swing at one player like Javon Small. I mean, Lee would be, at this point, my number one pick probably. If you haven't seen him yet, go check him out. He's an Asian-born, I think, player that is super talented. I mean, he's on that Javon Small level, right? And I know that's saying a lot, but he is. So he's a fun one. And then another one that I've checked out today was David, was it Hade? Let me see here. I lost his name. Central Connecticut State guard, Devin Hade. It's Devin Hade, who he played at Notre Dame College where he averaged 15 points per game, 5 rebounds. He's from Ohio. And I think this is one of the big reasons why this offer went out. 37% from 3, which is really good. Then he transferred to Central Connecticut State, where he was an all Northeast Conference second team, averaging 14 points per game, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. And he shot 49.3% from the field and 32% from 3. So he dropped quite a bit with a little more competition. I have not got a response from him yet, although my phone's buzzing. I'm trying to simultaneously check different things. No messages. Okay. So, this kid is smooth, man. I don't know if he would be a starter or not. I mean, it's hard to tell because he's a really polished and good offensive player. Really good mid range. He can stroke the three. He's about average at think Eric Stevenson at driving the ball, like not excellent at it, right? But he can do it. So, but like, is he more like I would say probably like a Taz Sherman, maybe, as far as that's his skill set. Now, he's not that good, I don't think, but that's the kind of player he is, where very crafty, can make the mid range, can definitely stroke the three, but he's really like his bread and butter for me, mid range, banking it off the backboard from the mid range, from the elbow, really doing a lot of pump fakes, a lot of crafty moves, because he's not an elite athlete. He's definitely a good athlete, though. He's not like some guys you see that have no athleticism. He is a good athlete. He's just not, he's not Joe Alexander, who's going to bounce his head literally off the rim. So, I saw him dunk a couple. He's don't have any bend in his arm. Like, his arm's pretty stretched out when he dunks, for whatever it's worth. But I enjoyed my time checking him out. I think this would be probably a depth add. I would probably place him sixth man, seventh man. It's hard to say at this point. And I do believe that he's got a great shot to land in Morgantown, just based off of who's recruiting him. Doesn't have a ton of big offers yet. Couple Power 4 places. I think I saw Rutgers or Boston College or somewhere reached out to him, but not a ton yet. So that's one I'll keep an eye. You guys need to keep an eye on. And then can't forget about our guy Brennan Lorient, who just entered the portal from North Texas. We kind of have to hope that he's coming to West Virginia. The tea leaves would say, yeah, that's probably happening. No guarantees there, though, right? This is the portal. Money does matter. And if somebody comes along with a big offer, i.e. Dusty May, where he played at Michigan before, then there you go, right? Now, I'll say this too. Dusty and Ross are good friends. And I think that, there is some etiquette in this profession, trying not to steal other guys' players. If you know that they're going to want them. This guy, he knows Ross is trying to build a program. Michigan's got a million other guys they could get. If Brennan Lorient was one of the top guys out there, I would think differently. But he's just, Lorient is a guy that I think he'll have some suitors, but he's not going to be – everybody and their mom's not going to be after him. Like I said, because what he does on the floor is he plays very good defense, and he is bounce your head off the rim athletic. If you haven't seen this kid as an athlete yet, drop what you're doing after the show and go type in BRENEN LORIENT, Brennan Lorient, and be amazed. I don't care if he watches FAU footage where, by the way, they went to the Final Four together. He's been on a Final Four team and then won 27 games at North Texas. That's a great player to bring in. A great player to bring in. Like, if you could draw from me a player that I would want to bring into a brand new program, it will be a winning player. Let's go to break. We'll talk a little bit more about basketball and some other stuff right on the other side of the break. Stick around.
The NCAA tournament is here, and so is the Bracket Breakdown.
Locked On Podcast Network and Amazon Fire TV channels are teaming up to deliver NCAA tournament coverage like never before. Watch studio shows featuring former players and Locked On's local experts as they guide you through every upset, buzzer beater, and bracket matchup.
Stream it all for free on Amazon Fire TV channel. Search Bracket Breakdown to see it all for free.
It's your team every day.
And this episode also going to be brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. That's right, 5 Hour Energy, guys. Daylight savings snuck up on us again. If you're feeling lost and that lost hour of sleep being gone, 5 Hour Energy has your back. The extra sunshine means more time for fun. But sometimes you need a little boost to power through. I feel a cat. Whether you're staying up late watching the NCAA tournament, squeezing in a round of golf after work, or just trying to keep up with your busy day, 5 Hour Energy gives you that quick, refreshing pick-me-up whenever you need it. Basketball madness. I've been staying up all late watching tournament action. 5-hour energy helps me stay up the next day, which is also important. Whether I'm a game traveling, 5-hour energy makes it easy for me to keep myself refreshed. On the go convenience is where it's at. Head to 5hourenergy.com to find over 15 players to choose from. Flavors to choose from, not players. My mind's on the portal, including watermelon, blue raspberry, and peach mango. You can even build your own 12-pack or 24-pack delivered right to your door. Need one today or now? Grab a 5-hour energy shot at your local grocery or convenience store because they're everywhere. They're everywhere. Stay energized today with you know what it is. 5-hour energy, baby. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. He'll never, ever leave you alone. He's even got a wiretap on your phone. Anybody remember that song from Ray Stevens? I think I've said it a couple times now. Santa Claus is watching you. All right, guys. I'm in a pretty good mood today. I've had some good news come through today, and I'll share it with you guys when more can be revealed. But sometimes, man, I have to remember to stay grateful. It's easy for me to focus on the problems in my life and not the solutions for them. And thank God that I have the kind of thinking that I do today, because you know what my solution used to be? It used to be to not have to feel anything. I think for a lot of you guys know that. 5 years clean today, thank God. But there was a time when my solution was the nearest drink or drug, right? So I just want to say I love staying grateful, and I love focusing on the solution instead of the problem. Much better chasing something rather than running from something. Like, those things are always going to be important to me. Chasing this instead of running from stuff that I've been dealing with health-wise and otherwise definitely help keep me motivated. And you guys are 99.9% of the reason. So thank you guys for everything you do for me, the confidence you help me keep, even though there are people that don't like me that watch the show, and there are some of the burners and stuff that don't like me. It's all right. I'm learning to live with it. It bothered me at first, but I've learned that why should I care about these faceless, nameless people? Even though I don't always react right to it, still not perfect, right? So thank you guys for joining. I will say, Legend was a class act the whole way. I felt like an ass. I did. I was like 6:30 because we agreed on 6:30 at 1 o'clock this afternoon. I was like, okay. And then 6:30 came around, and it tells me like 50 people waiting, and I'm like, oh man. And then it's growing. People are waiting. And I'm like, hey, dude, like 6:30, man, like I got people there waiting, like what's going on, And he's like, oh, I'm just eating with the staff. I'm like, oh, literally the more important thing is happening. Not my show. That doesn't matter at all, right? Like it does, but not compared to that. Like they're recruiting him right now, and I'm talking about, come on, where you at on the show? Like sometimes just got to get out of myself. Sometimes it's best to just get out of self and think about others sometimes. And that was a good lesson for me before coming on the show today. So a couple other things as well. Football, as we know, is going to be cutting down. Roster cuts are coming. We know it's coming. Rich Rod has been telling us it's coming. I'm going to make a prediction and say a couple decent to good players are going to get cut. I do think it's going to happen. There are some people that are really starting to think that they're more unhappy with the overall roster than happy. I don't know yet. I don't have a judge. I think what they do in the portal is going to tell us everything. And the whispers I got over the last couple of days was anybody they're bringing into the portal is going to be immediate impact only. Very few. There might be a couple depth pieces they're bringing in. This phone just continues to go off over and over, doesn't it, guys? I don't ever get a break from it. They're going to bring in some depth pieces. I think a couple, but I was told impact players for the most part. So we'll see. We're going to learn a lot about it. We know basketball has to be impact players. So what I'm saying is the Discord link is in the chat. all I do 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, literally, my only job is to search, look for, and try to find these people that we've offered, to get responses from them, to try to get intel, to try to reach out to their agencies, to try to reach out to their people, their families sometimes. And some people get on to me and say I'm a stalker, even though it's my job, right? But at the end of the day, it's what I got to do. And I have the humility to do it. Some people are actually in this field are too embarrassed to do it. They feel like it makes them, maybe, I don't know. But point being is I'm not too afraid. So what I'll do is I'll work my ass off. And if you want to join Discord, I promise you, what I know, you'll know for the most part. As long as I can report it before everybody else, or, if it's something that's known by only a few people or whatever. But because I know I'm not stupid enough to think that I'm the only person that's going to find this stuff. But there are occasions where that happens, because you can't just reach out. No, not any one person can reach out to everybody, right? So every now and again, like I use this example a lot because it was my first example. It's like the first news I ever actually scooped, and it's like a drug in a way, because the first news I actually ever scooped was the Xavier Bosley commitment. I've been talking to him for weeks. He was deciding between Kentucky and West Virginia. Kentucky was offering more money, and he still chose West Virginia and left tens of $1,000s on the table, guys, to stay in West Virginia. Xavier Bosley deserves all your love and respect. I've got those screenshots. I would never show him because he'd probably hate me for even saying that. But honestly, how many people do you know that wants to play for their home state so bad anymore than Xavier Bosley? That's a piece of intel for you, but it's the truth. Like I know Kentucky was offering him a little more. They needed his offensive line help, and he chose to stay home and play behind some guys. So, but what my point is like, those things happen, and you could be involved in that if you join the Discord or any other kind of thing. So it's fun, it's free, and for now, anyways. And when I get some more people in there, I need some more mods, some more help, and some things. But we're doing it. It's going to be fun. We got basketball and football going on simultaneously. So there's a lot of news to get. So that's pretty much it. I think we had a good day, productive day. Thank you to Legend. Make sure you guys reach out to Legend. I put an X post out earlier, saying he was coming on. If you could, go find him on social media. Show him how loved he is, guys, because that matters in the grand scheme. If a guy's just deciding on where to go somewhere and money's even, well, fan support matters then, right? So make sure you go shout him out, repost my post, or just go message him, or, post something to him yourself. Show him how much that means to us, because you could be our Kyler Murray. You could be our next Pat White, or you could be your own Legend Bay. And I'll keep you updated on basketball too. That's really all I got. I would like to talk longer, but I'm limited to the time I can stay on here. I'm feeling so good today that I may do another one at 8 or 8:30, but I have to research a couple things first. And I want to get a couple people to respond to me. If I can get any of these players to respond to me today, I'll be right back, with some more stuff, but we'll see what happens. Have a great one, guys. Thanks for making Locked On West Virginia your first listen. Locked On College Basketball. If you want to be the most educated college basketball fan out there, Locked On College Basketball is where it's at. Andy Shade, Isaac Patton, do it no bigger than them. Nobody does. And they're doing an excellent job covering March. Check them out on YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. Those of you listening on podcast, thanks for putting up with my ramblings. Thanks for putting up with my squirrel moments, or my Rottweiler squirrel. I just can't keep focused on one thing a lot. I don't have bullet points. I don't have anything in front of me telling me where to go next. It's all off the top of the head. So sometimes that gets me in trouble. It's my cat yelling at me wanting food here. We didn't get a mascot show today, but maybe they'll jump up on there for the next one. And I'll see you guys on the next one, guys. Have a great rest of your evening. I should be back later if I can find something to talk about. If not, I'll see you tomorrow. I'm out here. Later.